Good morning. I'm Stampin' Dee Dee, and this is Stampin' Thursday. Every week we have Stampin' Thursday, and we do something different every Thursday. And this Thursday is Mystery Make It Together. I love this day because I like creating something unexpected and allowing you to play along and see what you come up with. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you. If you're watching this live, thank you so much. I would love it if you would just give me a hi. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for doing that. Or on YouTube, I love to hear from my YouTube followers. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask because I'll get back to you and answer them. I do want to mention before we get started that I have a fun fold fair coming up, either in person here in Denton or to go. So you can participate. All the information is on my Facebook page, and it is May 24th from 9 to 11:30. But you have to RSVP by Friday of this week. Tomorrow, you have to RSVP. So let me know that if you'll just comment or text me at Susie, or email me at susiezoo@verizon.net, or text me. My phone number is listed on my Facebook page, maybe on my YouTube page too. I'm not sure. But anyway, let me know, and I'll give you all the details. So I think we're ready to try to put this phone down. That's always a challenge, to get the phone on the stand. So I hope I don't lose you. If I do, I'll be right back. But let's give it a try. Let me turn around here and try to get this on. Oh my goodness gracious. So sorry. I dropped it trying to get it on. All right. And I think we did it. All right, here we are. And let me move this up. I want you to know too that everything I do on my Facebook Lives and YouTube, I transfer the information over to my blog. Details, the cutting sizes, photos of the projects. So let me turn this way just a little bit to give us a little more. All right. That I think I need to let this down. Let me let it down. Oh, that's as far down as it'll go. Okay. Well, we're good. We're going to make this work. Thank you for watching. Here are your supplies that you need to have gathered up. And I hope you have, because this is a really fun mystery card. And it is a fun fold. It's a fun fold. So gather up these supplies. Let me know that you're watching. Say hi, so I'll know you're there. And let me know if you're playing along, if you're making the card along with me. I hope you are. So you need a piece of cardstock, 5.5 by 4.25. You need another piece of cardstock, 9, and it can be the same color. I think the one I'm using is going to be the same color. 9 3/4 by 4.25. And you score this at 3.25 and 6.5. And I'll show you that. I've already scored mine, and hopefully if you've gathered your supplies, you've already scored yours too. And then a different cardstock, 2.5 by 3/4 inch. You need designer series paper, 4 by 5.25. And then a coordinating designer series paper, 1.5 by 3. you need some basic white, 3 by 4, cut 2 of them. And then you need a small piece for your sentiment, 2 1/4 by 1/2. And then the sentiment you use should fit on this piece. If it's a bigger sentiment, which actually mine is, I'll show you the sample that uses the smaller sentiment. But on this one, I needed a particular kind of card, and this is going out in the mail today. So mine is a bigger sentiment, so I need a little bit bigger pieces of paper, but you can adjust that. And then you need 2 to 3 groups of embellishments, maybe even 2 different embellishments, or, you know, 2 or 3 things that you can put together. 2 to 3 groups of those. If you want to use twine or ribbon, you can. All right, I hope you have gathered your supplies. Hi, Kay. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you'll be watching. All right, let me move this over. This is the 9 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to show you the scoring. I'm assuming you know how to do this. And I use my trimmer to score. So it needs to be scored at 3 1/4. So I move it from 3 to 3 1/4. And score it. And then the next score is at 6 1/2. So I'm going to need to open up my arm, move it to 6 1/2, and the 6 1/2 is just past the edge here. 6 1/2, and score it again. So then we have our piece scored at 3 1/4 and 6 1/2. And I think that's the only, oh no, we've got a little bit more score. No, that not for this one. I'm thinking of a different card. All right, that's all the scoring we have. So we're going to take this now, and we're going to fold it into a Z fold. So we're going to fold it. Let's see, we'll fold it this way and this way. And of course, if you folded it the other way, it's fine. All you do is turn it around. So we're going to take this, and we're going to burnish these edges. Burnish them real good. And this is our Z. You know, we said it was a Z fold. There. It's a Z fold. But I'm going to turn it back this way. All right, the next thing we're going to do is take our 5 1/4 by 4 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece of cardstock, and then we've got a piece of designer series paper that is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to adhere that on. And I'm just going to use my tape runner, my Stampin' Seal for this to get it down. Okay. And this paper is the Nests of Winter, and it is still available. So I love birds. So I wanted to use the birds on this one. All right, the next thing we're going to do, set this aside, we're going to take our other piece of designer series paper, and it is 1 1/2 by 3. And we're going to take it, and this is going to go right here. But we're going to take this, and we're going to put glue just around the edge. I mean, just around the side, down the side. Look at that pretty bird back there. Down, just on the very edge, and across the bottom, and down the other side. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to do the top, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then we're just going to center this down at the bottom with a little bit showing on each edge. All right, and then we want to make sure that we get that glued down, because this is going to be a gift card holder. And our card is going to stick right in there. Our gift card or our money, however you want to use it. But I think this is such a handy card to have. All right. And now we're ready to sort of design our card here. We're going to take our 2 3x4-inch pieces of basic white cardstock, or very vanilla if that suits you better. And now this one is going to be the front of our card. And so I want a sentiment on the front of mine that's going to say, forever loved, forever remembered. And this is from, which set? Let me find my sentiment set. Oh dear. Forever loved. I don't remember. Oh yeah. It's from the new Right Words. The Right Words. And this stamp set has so many wonderful, meaningful sentiments on it. It does have happy birthday and thinking of you. But then these others, like I'm going to use the forever loved, forever remembered on the outside. And then on the inside, in the inside I'm using something from, no, I'm using it from this one. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. So that's going to go on the inside. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. Can be paired with I miss you already. The happy birthday can be paired with to someone worth celebrating every single day. Thanks so much for thinking of me. And let's see, I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things. You can pair that with sending good vibes or you're so kind. Thinking of you a lot. Or I miss you already a lot. This one is, I wish I had the right words for a time like this. That is so meaningful, so helpful to someone who is going through a really rough time. And then you can pair it with, but just know how much I love and care about you. So there's just lots of ways to use these sentiments. All right. But I just pulled out some scraps, and this is where you have your 2 1/4, your white 2 1/4 by 1/2 inch. If you did gather that, then you probably got a sentiment that would fit on that. I needed a bigger sentiment this time, so I gathered a scrap of white, and I'm going to ink this with our new Secret C. If you have not tried this ink yet, it has a touch of blue in it, but it is a great black substitute. So I'm going to ink this up. Forever loved. And forever remembered. Cleaning my stamp so I can. And then I'll wait to do the other one in a minute. All right, I'm going to trim this just a little bit. Because I think I just want, I could cut around it, but I want it to have a mat, so I think I'll just trim it. And I could use a die or a label, but this is the handiest thing. I may leave this a little room here until I decide whether I want to banner the end or not. Okay. And I'll leave just a little bit of space there. And then I'm going to mat it with my gray granite cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and put some green glue on it. Just enough. There. And put it right in the corner here. So I've already got 2 edges. There we go. I don't want much of an edge. And then I'm going to trim it up. And trim it right here. I'm not going to banner it. Just going to do a simple sentiment. All right, we've got that one done. So I'm also on the front going to put, I use the die, the Winterly, what is it called? Let me see. Winterly Treetops. I use the die and cut this from the Designer Series paper. And I'm going to put this on the front. And so my Forever Loved and Forever Remembered is going to be right there, I think. I also used the Winterly Treetops dies. Yes. And cut a few little greeneries. Because I thought that might... I didn't want this to look Christmassy, so I cut off any of the Christmassy looking stuff. And I think I'm going to, let's see, maybe like that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to use dimensionals to get those on the front. At this point, you've got your 3x4 piece of white, and you're adding your embellishments to the front. So you may just have one image, which is fine. I am going to add them with dimensionals. And it doesn't matter if they overlap just a little bit. That does not matter. I should have put a dimensional right there. I didn't, but I probably should have. See if I can get it on. There we go. There. Now I want to add this. And I'm going to add it right there. Oh, and what I did, I had a spare piece of, an extra piece of embossed, this garden green embossed. So I just used it to create my stems because I thought that might look really nice. Especially on this bigger, you can see it on this bigger stem that I cut. You can see the embossing. And it really makes it really makes it look nice. And I'll probably use this on the inside. All right. And then, I want it up here, I think. And I think I'm going to cut it off a little bit. Or maybe I've got a smaller one. No, I'm just going to cut this one off. I'm just going to cut it right here, right there. And that way it's similar to the other one. And just a little touch of glue at the bottom. It's all you need to do is at the bottom. There we go. There we go. And then my sentiment, I'm going to use dimensionals on that as well. So this is the front. So you can add some height to the front of your card. Throw that away. I'll put my forever loved, forever remembered right down here. All right, I think that's all we need for that one. So I'm now going to put that right on the front here. It's going to go right on the front. So let me get my... Okay, so this is the way our Z-fold opens, like this. And so this is going to go right here. There we go. That's the front of our card. Now, we have another white piece to decorate and to add sentiment to, and it's going to go right here. And this is where you can sign it and put a little note if you want, and then your gift card goes right here. So on this one, I've got my other sentiment, hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. So I'm going to stamp it directly onto my piece. Now let me decide where I want to stamp it. I cut out a couple of birds. I had to fussy cut. Oh, that one was a die cut, but this one I had to fussy cut. And I've got greenery. I actually could put them on the greenery if I wanted to do that. I didn't do a sample of this one, so I'm trying to work it out. With the cinnamon at the bottom. What do you think? Or should this be at the bottom, maybe? And the cinnamon at the top. I think that might look a little bit better. Yeah. So do I need one or two? What do you think? One bird or two? I need some help here. One or two? What should I do? What do you think, Kay? One or two? Well, I know I'm going to put this at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And this is the one where the embossing really shows up. So pretty. And I'm going to put it right here. All right. I'm not hearing a 1 or a 2. So I think I might just go with 1. And maybe even some more greenery. Maybe so. So I'm going to go on and put my sentiment at the top. How do you do this process? Or how do you do this process? All right, I'm going to put this here. This is one of those cards that the sentiment says it all. And you really don't have to put a whole lot. But because I want to leave some room, I think I'm going to go this route. And I think I'm going to put it right there. And let's see. I could put that right there. Really, though, I think that's enough. I've got all these stems I cut, but I don't think I need them. And I'll have to glue this down because it's on the inside. So we're going to put it right here, right there. And now there's room to sign the card. Did I put glue on that? I think I did. Yeah. All right. And then we're going to put this on. And you can see it doesn't matter if it goes off the edge just a little bit. If it does hang over, we'll trim it. It looks like we're going to have to trim the fold. So we can do that. There's that one, and I am going to have to trim this right here. Yeah, so that folds. But I'm not going to have to trim the other one. All right, here we are. Forever loved, forever remembered. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. And you know, you could, I've got these scripture cards. Because I was just thinking, well, you wouldn't really send money for this, now for birthday or something else. But let me find something here that would be, okay. So you might want to put something like this in there. There's a scripture card to send to them, and I would find one a little more appropriate, you know, more appropriate color-wise. I keep this Bible verses. I keep this right here handy so that if I do want to stick something in, I've got quite a few I can go through and find, oh, this is a good one. May the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times in every way. The Lord be with you all. That is perfect. That is exactly what I want to do. Perfect. All right. So now we're ready. Well, good, Kay. I'm glad I did just one. So now we're ready to put this on the front of the card. And you know what? We're through. How easy is this card? And can be used for so many things. For graduation, for birthday, for anniversary, for get well. Again, you could use a Bible verse here. All right. There it is. That is our card. That is our card. And that's the verse I'm gonna use. We just lost a pastor friend. And this will go to his wife and his daughter. There. Awesome. Okay. So easy. So very, very easy. What do you think? Is that one you will do? One you think you will use? All right. So let me get these up, and I'm going to show you the samples. The other, I think I have a couple more samples that I made. So there's this one that's going in the mail today. Oh, this one says, this is made with the Storybook Friends. I love that paper, that designer series paper. Has all of these cute die-cut cutouts. And then the stamp set has this rock wall. And I took the cloud out of an older, I needed a cloud. And I had to go to an older stamp set, the moon stamp set, whatever the name of that is, Under the Moon. Has some great clouds in it, but it's not available right now. But anyway, so, and I used the elements, the wheelbarrow and the pot and the watering can. Hello, friend. You're the best kind of person. And I did ink with pecan pie just a little at the bottom to create a look of ground to sort of secure these down. And just a few of the things were growing. And a gift card just to show my appreciation for this person. All right, so that's one way. And then here's another one. And this one is thanks so much, and it's using our Latte Love. And that may be on the last chance list. But that's the only sentiment I used in that one, is the thanks so much. And then I would take my gift card and stick it in there. And there we go. So just some simple ways to use this. And the more you hold this down, the more it will lay down. It just takes it a while to get to that point. These are better. All right. So I hope that's something you've enjoyed. I hope it's a card that you will use. It's certainly one that I use and intend to use today. So that is our mystery, Make It Together. And thanks, Kay. Yeah, I think it's going to be perfect. Perfect. And I had not thought of that before. So I'm glad I thought of that. It's just going to be perfect. All right. Well, that is it for today. It's an easy card to make. So gather your supplies and make some for yourself to use. Have them handy. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. If you're YouTube, thank you so much. And y'all have a blessed weekend. Bye-bye.